All right, Coach. Great day coming in this Monday after the first win of the season. Played ups and downs against Abilene Cooper. Just give us your overall thoughts.
Well, very happy. Of course, the guys battled and fought and down 10 points and come back and then get a two score lead, and just everything that goes and the emotions within a game, and just for them to keep their focus on playing one play at a time and attacking the game that way. It's another good team. That's going to happen. There's not going to be a whole lot of just walk off 40-point wins. Football, the people that we play and up and down our schedule are good. So you got, as I say around here, you got to thug out wins a lot and find a way to do that. And we certainly did. Offense, defense, kicking game all contributed to this.
Yeah, Coach, I know last week we talked, you said that you wanted to start seeing the run game develop.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I think towards the end of the game there, Xavier Johnson came in and, had just two big runs for you guys, and I think really, helped you put away that game. Talk about, your running performance last week and how you could carry that into...
Well, I do. We did. We leaned on them in the second half, and I felt like, they did a good job against our run game in the first half. We had some runs that were quality runs there, but really, we ripped off maybe about 8 runs in a row at one point and just picked up first down after first down. And when you can do that, and establish that type of running game and lean on people, especially late in the game, it makes it really hard on an opponent, And I think, Zay came in and did a great job. He missed last week with that ankle injury, but he looked like he was running really good throughout the course of the week. And then, he's a big physical runner that gets his pads downhill. And when he does, you see the result that you got on Friday.
Coach, a few offensive miscues towards the red zone in that first half. It really should have been a lead for you guys going into halftime. What are some of the things that you're going to address with, like the missed snap and things like that in practice this week?
Well, execution is big. I was disappointed that, we gave up a sack there and kind of put us into a really long field goal than more than what it needed to be. Even if you have an incomplete pass or a run for no gain right there, I think we make the field goal. He hits the upright there on the long one, and if we're about 8 yards closer where we would have been had it not been for that sack, that goes through, and then you got a nice positive way to end the half. So they had a pressure, we slid the wrong way, and then left the guy kind of unblocked right there. So it happens too. Teams scheme up and do a good job there, but we got to clean up execution in the red zone. We need touchdowns when we're down there, not necessarily field goal opportunities. So, most of our touchdowns Friday night were from outside the red zone, long scoring plays, not necessarily in there and then pound the ball in. So, we need to clean up some of those things, but proud of the way we did handle things offensively. 40 points is a great night, established a really good ground game, and then also, we're able to throw the ball over the top quite a bit.
In that second half, it seems like that was the best pass pro performance we've seen from that offensive line so far this season.
Yeah.
Michael looked completely comfortable in that pocket, gave him plenty of time to throw those deep shots to Colton. Just talk about your offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line did a great job, to include the running backs involved in pass pro. They did a great job as well, holding in there in protection, and tight ends as well. But that was a point of emphasis. It has been really all season, and it's gotten better every week. And, I feel like we got really good skill offensively, and if we got time back there in the pocket, we will. We're dangerous, all over the field with guys that we can get the ball to. But it starts with having great pass protection, and those guys did a great job throughout the course of the game, especially the second half, to hold up in there.
Yeah, talk about the matchup with Belton, kind of what do you see on tape, what do you see from the team?
Belton is much better than they were a year ago. They've completely changed what they do offensively. They were a 21 personnel, tight end, 2-back team, downhill run game a year ago. Now they're spread, open, throwing the ball, running the ball. RPOs kind of joined, what a lot of people do around the state. So, and it's paid off for them. They started out the season 2-0, got 2 wins right out the gate, some quality wins as well. They dropped one this past Friday for their first loss, but it's a much improved team than the one that we played a year ago. Got a lot of guys back on it, like we've seen, a lot of experience back on that team as well. And then they seem to be adjusting well, to this new offensive philosophy. So, for us, it's something that we've seen. It'll be similar to what we've seen. It's got its own wrinkles, but similar to what we've seen. We need to continue to get into a rhythm defensively, and then, You know, it'll be an odd front defensive structure from them as well. Their same defense is back in place as was a year ago. So our 4th straight week of seeing that. So we should just continue to get better there as well.
Coach, obviously changing quarterbacks this season, having a new quarterback this season, your ability to stretch the field has not changed. It honestly seems to be ramping up as the season go on. How important has that been through the first 3 weeks of the year?
Well, I believe in taking shots down the field. I want at least 3 of those a half where we try to throw the ball over the top, stretch the defense. We got good people. I think you do that, you connect on some of those, and you get a run game going. The intermediate passing game, opens up a lot as well. So we want to strain the defense vertically. Not always horizontally, although a lot of our RPO throws are quick throws to get them outside when we see soft coverage. And then we've made big plays out of that as well. Caught a short one and then run a long ways because we got good blocking on the perimeter. But we want to stretch the field. We got good personnel to do that. Protection has gotten better, like we've mentioned already here. So that is definitely something that we want to do every game.
Longest road trip of the season so far, Coach. How are you going to get the guys prepared on Friday?
Well, we'll be good. I just think back to going to Amarillo last year, and then we had some long trips last year. So this will feel like it's just a nap going on this one as compared to some of the ones that we've been on. So our routine is the same. We get to the stadium about 3 hours before kickoff. So whatever they do prior to that, I kind of like getting on a bus. I feel like you can clear your mind, you can take a little nap, you can relax a little bit, go through your game plan a little bit more in a quiet environment. So I feel like the guys will do great.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.